In case you are absent for class or would just like to review again, this video will go over part 1 of our photography unit on knowing your camera. In class, you have the opportunity to use a Canon PowerShot A3400. It's a very basic point-and-shoot camera. When you're using the cameras, please keep your wrists strapped in case you get bumped or jostled around. The camera will not be accidentally dropped or broken. Turn the camera over when you have a chance and notice where the card and battery slot is. Just use your thumb to push it in this case to the right, and the door will open. You'll see the empty slot here where the battery will be. Right here is the memory card. Power button's on top. Shutter button is next to it. Notice that the zoom in and out or telephoto control is right here, that little knob. And just to get yourself used to the camera, just take a few selfies with it. Try taking selfies from different angles, like above and below and from off the side. Again, that's where the zoom in and zoom out knob is. Try to keep the camera lens area clean as possible. You'll notice some dust specks in here. Don't wipe the lens area with your shirt. Don't blow on it, because no doubt that there will be some saliva or spit that will get on there. Particles that get on this part of the lens, and when the lens collapses inside, sometimes will cause the lens to get stuck, and oftentimes when the lens gets stuck, it does not come out again very well, and in some cases I've had the lens broken that way. Just use the lens tissues that I supply in class to keep the area clean from dust particles, and that'll prevent, in most cases, these lenses being broken. Alright, here are the controls. I usually call this the dial. Pay attention to these items here, these symbols. We will not use this part for recording video. We'll just be doing photography. The question mark will attempt to describe a part of the menu or part of the camera that you have on currently. Trash can for deleting photos. Auto. The lightning bolt is for turning your flash on and off. Display, which will change the display mode. What you see on the viewer. Here's the macro for zooming in. The main menu button, and here's the playback button. So on the wheel or dial, not only is it used for these buttons like macro and the lightning bolt, but in playback mode you actually use this part of the dial to this part and that part of the dial to scroll through your pictures and to make selections. And also this part of the dial, when you're using the main menu, you can scroll up and down your main menu. Alright, currently it's on auto. One way you can make sure it is on auto is click the auto button on the wheel. But we usually want to have more control over the camera than just leaving it in auto mode. Well, that's a good place to start. I would prefer that you go to program mode, and to get it back into program mode, one thing you can do is to click on this auto button until the letter P appears on the screen on the back of the camera, and then you're in program mode. If it doesn't appear, if something else appears here, you can touch. This is a touch screen, so you can touch this area, and then it'll allow you to scroll through the different modes, and then you can choose program by using the touch screen instead. So for instance, maybe live was on the back, was displayed on the back screen, and you click on that or touch that with your finger, and then you'll get this menu, and then you can click on program. You want to be in program so that all the features of the camera are available to you. Alright, I'm going to talk about focus lock real quick. Focus lock is the ability to press the shutter halfway down, and you'll get a box that appears, and when you press halfway down it should turn green like that. And what you've done is you've set the camera to focus on the area that's within that box. Pressing halfway down is a nice skill to have when you're taking pictures, to always place what's inside the box in focus, and then you can have the option or power to reframe where the box is, yet everything in that zone where it originally was will be in focus. This is a technique called focus, frame, and shoot, and we'll talk more about that as we go. All right, more about your camera. This is the playback, so to review your pictures. So take some pictures and then press this button to take a look at them. When you're in playback mode, you've pressed the blue arrow and then press the main menu button. Here again, here's the main menu button, but when you press this button first, the playback button, then you'll get a separate menu just for playing back the pictures. And you get options for doing something like this, protecting. I encourage you to protect the pictures that you want to keep. You just click on here with the wheel. You would click on, hang on, let me show you. You would click on the function set button, that's your selector, and you'd use the other parts of the wheel to scroll through. Excuse me. And then you choose protect, and then make sure you press the function set button to actually protect it. It's not showing it right now, but when you do that, a little lock appears. So I know that was a lot to hear, but click on protect, scroll through the pictures and find pictures you want to keep, and then press the function set button. So please practice that, take a picture and put a protection lock on it whenever you can. Alright, we usually don't choose erase all during class because there's other classes using these cameras, but that option exists, just be aware of it. What I prefer you do is press the playback button, the blue arrow, and then scroll through pictures that you don't want to keep, and then press the auto button, but that turns into the blue trash can because you're in playback mode, and then you can choose to delete pictures. It'll ask you if you want to delete. Alright, so take a picture and then just try erasing one picture at a time or individually. Alright, so real quick we talked about focus lock, and then focus, frame, and shoot. You set the focus lock on an area, and then you move your camera, which is to reframe it, and then you shoot it. Remember where the function set button is. Function set in regular mode, not in playback mode. You use that to also choose the different modes that you can have. For instance, I've said that I want you in program mode, but using your wheel you can go to all of these other modes as well. I would like to encourage you to try the different modes, which are basically effects like fisheye, miniature, toy camera, and super vivid, but there's many more. Alright, we'll stop here, and you can rejoin me if you need to watch more of these videos. We're still in part 1 and talking about your camera.